The way you start your morning defines the rest of your day. Choose thoughts that empower and fuel your progress. Your morning words have the power to change your entire day. Choose them wisely. Choose them boldly. What if you could start each day with the right mindset? What if you had a set of powerful affirmations to tell yourself every morning that could completely transform the way you approach your day? Imagine waking up with a clear sense of purpose and direction, ready to take on anything that comes your way. What if you could decide right now that today will be different, better, and that you will make every moment count? What if the words you speak to yourself in the morning could shape your entire day, your entire future? Could these simple affirmations lead to a stronger, more focused version of you? It's not about magic or luck. It's about making intentional decisions that set the tone for success, growth, and fulfillment. Stay tuned to discover the 10 things you should tell yourself every morning to set yourself up for an amazing day. So if you're ready to take control of your mornings, shift your mindset, and start each day with intention, then completely change the way you approach life. Now let's dive in. Number 1, wake up and take full control of today. Every morning you wake up with a choice. You can drift through the day reacting to whatever happens, or you can stand up, plant your feet firmly on the ground, and decide to take control. Taking control starts with awareness. It begins by reminding yourself that this is your life, not someone else's, and that the way this day unfolds will largely be shaped by what you do. Most people wake up and let the day run them. They check their phone first thing. They look at other people's lives before they even think about their own. They get out of bed already feeling behind. But if you want to build something meaningful in your life, if you want to grow, achieve, and live with purpose, you can't allow the day to control you. You have to step into the day with intention. You have to wake up and decide, I am in charge today. No one else decides how I feel, how I act, how I respond. That's a powerful place to stand. It doesn't mean everything will go your way. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges or interruptions or moments of doubt, but it means you're not going to be passive. You're not going to give your time, your energy, or your emotions to things that don't deserve them. You're going to lead your day, not follow it. That mindset alone can change your life. People sometimes ask, how do I take control when I don't feel strong, when I feel tired or uncertain? The answer is you act anyway. Discipline is the bridge. You don't need to feel unstoppable to start. You just need to make one decision. Get out of bed. Don't scroll. Don't complain. Don't wait for motivation. Move your body. Make your bed. Set your intention. Remind yourself today is your opportunity to live better than yesterday. See, the power isn't in some big dramatic transformation. It's in the tiny decisions you make right now this morning. It's in the first few minutes of your day. How you think, how you speak to yourself, what you focus on. These things shape your entire life. Most people overlook them, but not you. You're choosing to be aware. You're choosing to take ownership. That alone separates you from most. Control doesn't mean perfection. It means responsibility. It means you don't blame others when things don't go right. You don't say, well, the world is unfair, so there's nothing I can do. You say, I will face what comes and I will grow from it. That's strength. That's maturity. That's where your future begins. You have to remind yourself that you are not powerless. You have influence over your actions, your attitude, your habits. You decide what you feed your mind. You decide who you spend time with. You decide whether today will be wasted or meaningful. And if you mess up, you decide how quickly you get back up. Waking up and taking control means not allowing your emotions to decide the day for you. Yes, you'll feel tired sometimes. You'll feel discouraged. You'll even feel like quitting. But those feelings are not facts. They're just signals. You don't have to obey them. You can acknowledge them, learn from them, and still move forward. You have goals. You have dreams. You have values. If you don't take control of your day, those things drift further away. The world doesn't stop for anyone. Time keeps moving. And the worst feeling is to look back and realize you lived the same day over and over again because you never decided to lead it. So you wake up, and the first thing you do is remind yourself why you're here. You think about what matters to you. You think about the kind of person you're becoming. You remind yourself that every choice you make today either builds that person or pulls you further from them. That's power. That's clarity. That's direction. If you want confidence, start by keeping promises to yourself today. If you want growth, choose something hard and do it anyway. If you want respect, begin by respecting your own time and energy. All of this starts the moment you open your eyes. The minute your feet hit the floor, that's your first win. That's your first decision to take the reins. Taking control also means protecting your mind. Don't invite stress, comparison, and negativity into your morning. Don't start your day by reacting to noise. Start your day with calm, with purpose, with something that lifts you. Read something that challenges you. Journal, reflect, or simply breathe and set your focus. The mind is powerful, but it needs direction. Give it the direction it needs. And don't think you have to control everything outside you. That's not what this is about. There will always be things beyond your reach. People will do what they do. Situations will unfold as they unfold, but your power lies in how you respond, in what you choose to give your energy to, in what you allow into your space. That's where control lives. When you start your morning with that kind of presence and intention, you set the tone. You're not just reacting to life. You're shaping it. And people will notice. They'll feel it in how you speak, how you work, how you carry yourself. But more importantly, you'll feel it. You'll look in the mirror and see someone who isn't waiting for life to be easier. You'll see someone who is willing to lead even when it's uncomfortable. That doesn't just build better days. It builds a better life. It builds inner strength. It builds trust in yourself. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to wake up and decide, today I will show up. Today I will choose discipline over distraction. Today I will move forward even if it's one small step. That's enough. You're not here to be average. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're here to grow. You're here to rise. And it all starts with that one simple decision when the alarm rings. Wake up, take full control of today, and begin again. Not because it's easy, not because it's always exciting, but because your future depends on what you choose today. And when you make that choice with full ownership, you don't just change your day, you change your life. Number 2. Speak truth and choose growth over comfort, always. There is something powerful that happens when a person makes a decision to be honest with themselves. Not just honest with others, but brutally honest. In the quiet moments where no one is watching, that's where the real work begins. And herself and the fit into eyes recall. The kind of honesty that looks in the mirror and doesn't make excuses. The kind that admits when you've fallen short, not because you want to feel guilty, but because you want to get better. That's the truth that changes lives. Growth doesn't come from pretending everything is fine when it's not. It doesn't come from hiding behind distractions or waiting until it's easy. It starts when you stop lying to yourself about where you are. When you stop telling yourself that tomorrow will fix what you're avoiding today. When you stop acting like staying comfortable is harmless, when in reality it's holding you back from everything you could be. You have to ask yourself what kind of person you're trying to become. Are you chasing comfort, or are you chasing progress? Because they don't live in the same place. Comfort keeps you exactly where you are. It whispers to you that you've done enough, that you've earned a break, that you'll start later. But growth has no interest in waiting. Growth demands action. It demands effort. It demands that you choose the harder path, because you know that's where strength is built. Every time you speak the truth, you get stronger. Not because it feels good, not because it's fun, but because it sets a foundation you can build on. When you lie to yourself even a little, you destroy your own trust. And once that trust is gone, it becomes harder to believe in your own potential. But when you say, this is where I am and this is what I must do, you give yourself a clear starting point. And from there, anything is possible. This means having the courage to face your weaknesses without running. It means admitting when you've been lazy or distracted or careless. It means acknowledging when your habits are hurting you instead of helping you. Not to beat yourself up, but to take responsibility. Real growth doesn't come from self-punishment. It comes from self-respect. You choose growth because you believe you are capable of more. Choosing growth over comfort will never feel natural at first. Your brain will resist. Your emotions will push back. You'll want to stay in bed a little longer. You'll want to put off that hard conversation. You'll want to delay the work you know you need to do. But that's the moment where everything changes. When you override the desire for ease and step into the discomfort willingly, you grow. you learn, you stretch. And every time you do that, your confidence grows with you. Growth requires you to let go of your old stories. The stories that say you're not good enough. The ones that say you always quit. The ones that tell you people like you don't succeed. None of those are facts. They're just beliefs you've carried for too long. And the only way to break free from them is to speak truth louder than the lies. To declare, I may not be where I want to be, but I am not staying here. Comfort might feel safe, but it's a trap. It keeps you from taking the chances that could change your life. It keeps you surrounded by people who settle. It convinces you that dreaming big is risky and trying again is pointless. But growth will never happen inside your comfort zone. It lives in the moments you choose to do the uncomfortable thing, even when no one sees it. Even when it doesn't pay off right away. Speak truth every morning. Look at your goals and ask yourself, am I really doing what it takes? Look at your habits and ask, are they building the person I want to be? Look at your mindset and ask, am I thinking like a victim or like someone who owns their life? These questions aren't meant to shame you. They're meant to wake you up, to remind you that you're not stuck unless you choose to stay stuck. Most people won't do this work. They'll choose the familiar over the uncomfortable. They'll protect their ego instead of facing the truth. But you're not most people. You're choosing growth. That means you're choosing the path that requires effort, that demands discipline, that rewards you not instantly but deeply. Speaking truth also means being clear about what you want. Not vague, not someday, not maybe, but clear. I want to be stronger. I want to be more focused. I want to be a leader. I want to have peace in my mind and purpose in my days. And when you know what you want, you stop tolerating the things that don't support that. You cut out the noise. You eliminate the excuses. You stop chasing the approval of people who don't understand your journey. It takes guts to live this way. It takes strength to be real with yourself, especially when no one else is pushing you. But that strength compounds. One honest moment builds the next. One brave decision creates momentum. You stop waiting for the world to give you permission. You start giving it to yourself. And that's when everything starts to shift. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming intentional. You still make mistakes. You still fall short. But instead of hiding from it, you learn from it. You adjust. You grow. You speak truth again and move forward again. That's what builds resilience. That's what builds identity. Not in how many times you get it right, but in how committed you are to becoming better each time. You don't need motivation to grow. You need honesty. You need awareness. You need to want your future more than you want to be comfortable today. Because there will always be an easy way out. There will always be a reason to stop. But growth gives you something comfort never can. It gives you pride. It gives you integrity. It gives you a reason to hold your head high. Speak truth and choose growth. Because you owe it to yourself. Not to prove anything to anyone. Not to show off. But because you are capable of more and you know it. And every time you choose growth, you get closer to the life you're meant to live. You stop existing and start building. You stop reacting and start leading. And the more you do that, the more unshakable you become. Most people will live the same year over and over again because they never stopped to ask the hard questions. Because they never chose to leave what was familiar. But you can make a different choice. You can decide that today is the day you speak truth, not just once, but every time it matters. That you'll choose growth not just when it's exciting, but when it's painful and slow and uncertain. And when that becomes who you are, when that becomes your habit, you don't just improve your results, you elevate your whole life. Because the person who chooses truth and growth again and again becomes unstoppable. Not because the path is smooth, but because they no longer fear the rough parts. They embrace them and rise through them, and they keep going. Number 3. Own mistakes and promise to do better now. It takes strength to say I was wrong. It takes maturity to admit that your actions or decisions may have caused harm, delayed progress, or let someone down, including yourself. But the real turning point is what you choose to do after that moment of honesty. Owning your mistakes is not about guilt. It's about growth. It's about stepping forward with clarity and using your past not as something to hide, but as something to learn from. Every person who ever improved their life started by telling the truth about what they needed to change. When you face your mistake directly, without blaming others or making excuses, you take back control. You stop giving your power away to circumstances. You stop defending behavior that does not serve your future. You say, I did this. I take responsibility. And I am committed to doing better. Not tomorrow, not when it's easier, but right now. There's no progress in pretending. People get stuck, not because they make mistakes, but because they avoid facing them. They carry shame, they avoid reflection, or they numb themselves with distractions. But the only way out is through. You have to stand in front of your mistake with courage and say, this is part of my journey, not the end of it. That shift in mindset builds resilience. It teaches you to trust yourself again, not because you're perfect, but because you're honest enough to improve. The key is not just to own your mistake once, it's to keep your word after you admit it. Promising to do better means showing up differently. It means putting in the effort to repair what was broken, to rebuild what was lost, or to strengthen what was weak. It means being consistent even when no one is watching. That's where real change happens. That's where character is shaped. Too many people say sorry, but repeat the same behavior. They say they'll change, but they never make the hard choices that lead to real improvement. Saying you'll do better means more than words. It means creating a plan, taking action, and holding yourself accountable, even on the hard days. Growth is not a feeling, it's a decision backed by discipline. You may have failed before. You may have disappointed someone. You may have disappointed yourself. But you are not your past. You are what you decide to become from this moment forward. The past is a teacher, not a sentence. Don't run from it. Look at it, study it, understand it, use it, let it shape your wisdom, let it teach you what not to repeat. Mistakes will keep showing up until you face them. Life has a way of repeating the same lessons until you finally learn. Ignoring your mistakes doesn't erase them, it just delays the breakthrough you need. The moment you own it fully, that's the moment things start to shift. You think clearer, you move with direction. You stop wasting time on shame and start using that energy to build something better. No one grows by defending their flaws. You grow by identifying them and doing the work to change. You don't have to fix everything at once. Start small, fix one habit, apologize where needed. Reflect deeply. Be intentional. If you lost trust, earn it back. If you wasted time, start managing it with purpose. If you broke a routine, re-establish it with focus. That's progress. That's how you prove to yourself that your word matters. A mistake is not a failure unless you stop trying to improve. Every great leader, every successful person, every wise human has made painful mistakes. What sets them apart is how they responded. They didn't deny it. They didn't blame others. They made a promise to themselves to rise. And then they followed through, day after day, until the mistake became a memory, and the lesson became part of their strength. Promising to do better is not about perfection. It's about effort. It's about consistency. It's about being the kind of person who doesn't give up just because it's uncomfortable. When you make that promise in the morning, you're setting a tone. You're saying, I will lead myself today. I will hold a higher standard. I will act in alignment with who I want to become. This mindset doesn't just heal your past. It builds your future. It influences the people around you. It teaches those watching you that growth is possible, that mistakes don't define someone, that real strength comes from ownership, not denial. People respect those who admit when they're wrong and take steps to change, not in words, but in actions. The more you do this, the more confident you become, not because everything is fixed overnight, but because you know you're showing up with integrity. You're not hiding. You're not pretending. You're working through it. You're creating a track record of growth that no one can take from you. That's what separates those who stay stuck from those who break through. Every day is a chance to practice this. You won't get it right every time. But the goal is not to be flawless. The goal is to be honest, to notice quickly when you've slipped, to own it without delay, to reset your intention and recommit with action. You don't need approval. You need alignment. You need to look at yourself and know you are doing what it takes. This isn't just about one moment. It's a way of life, a way of leading yourself, a way of living with clarity. When you say, I own this and I will do better, You remove the weight of excuses. You take that energy and invest it into habits that lift you. Conversations that matter. Work that has purpose. You create a rhythm that serves your future instead of dragging you back. This is how self-respect is built. It's not about liking everything about yourself right now. It's about being honest enough to become someone you do respect. Someone who takes initiative. Someone who accepts reality and still fights to grow. Someone who doesn't pretend to be perfect, but who refuses to stay average. Every time you take ownership, you set a new tone for your life. You show yourself what accountability feels like. And once you've tasted that power, you stop settling. You stop lowering your standards. You stop letting your past run your future. You shift from regret to responsibility, from excuses to action, from wishing to working. This is your life, your time, your opportunity. And you don't need to have a flawless past to create a powerful future. All you need is to tell the truth about where you are. Promise yourself something better, and start proving it with what you do next. Not in a week, not when it's more convenient. Right now, because the longer you wait, the heavier the burden gets. But the moment you act, you begin to feel lighter. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. And that's where your next level begins. Not in denying the wrong steps, but in deciding what the next right step will be. That's the path. That's the work. And you are fully capable of doing it. Number 4. Stand tall and believe you are enough today. There's something important you need to know the moment you wake up. Before the world gets noisy. Before the doubts start whispering. Before you measure yourself against someone else's success or timeline, you are enough right now. Not when you achieve more. Not when you look different. Not when someone else validates you. Today as you are enough to start, enough to try, enough to move forward, enough to add value, enough to take one step in the right direction. You don't need to wait for perfect timing or for all the pieces to be in place. You don't need to collect more opinions before you act. You don't need more evidence to feel worthy. The proof is in your breath. The fact that you're here, still standing, still capable of making a decision, still able to choose what happens next, that matters. You matter, and you don't need to justify that to anyone. Standing tall is not about arrogance. It's about inner alignment. It's about refusing to shrink just because life has challenged you. You've been through enough to know that falling doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. But standing tall in the middle of uncertainty, that's a choice. That's a habit you build when you decide that your voice, your values, and your effort deserve space. Believing you are enough doesn't mean you don't have work to do. It means you accept yourself as the starting point. You don't wait until everything is fixed to feel worthy. You move forward from a place of self-respect, not self-rejection. You stop punishing yourself for not being where you think you should be and start owning the ground you're on. Because only when you stand fully in who you are can you grow into who you're becoming. You've got to stop looking for external proof that you belong. The world isn't going to hand you confidence on a silver platter. You build it by showing up, by keeping promises to yourself, by deciding to walk into the day with your head high. Even if it's hard, especially when it's hard, that quiet strength inside you, it grows when you honor it, when you don't abandon it, when you say I am not less than because I am still learning. Somewhere along the way you might have been told you weren't ready, or you weren't good enough, or that someone else knew better. But those voices don't own your future unless you let them. You can choose a new voice today, one that reminds you of your progress, one that tells the truth about your value, one that says your journey is still unfolding and you have the right to take up space while it does. Confidence isn't loud. It's not about being the boldest person in the room. It's the calm in your chest when you choose to show up anyway. It's the peace you feel when you stop apologizing for being a work in progress. It's in the decision to keep building your life from a foundation of truth, not comparison. That kind of confidence, it can't be given to you. You build it. You practice it. You earn it through repetition. This morning as you look in the mirror, you have a choice. To criticize yourself or to support yourself. To focus on what's missing or to see what's still strong. To beat yourself down or to build yourself up. You won't get today back. This is your moment to set a tone. Your posture matters. Your self-talk matters. Your self-talk matters. Your belief about who you are shapes how you act. If you carry the belief that you're not enough, you'll hesitate. You'll hold back. You'll play small. But if you carry the belief that you're enough, you'll try. You'll lead, you'll grow. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you it's okay. You can start right now. That permission you're looking for. You can give it to yourself. You can stop explaining. You can stop apologizing for your goals, your energy, your ambition. You are not too much. You are not falling behind. You're a person doing your best to rise. And that is enough. You've survived days when you didn't think you would. You've faced moments where doubt tried to crush you. You've walked through things others don't even know about. And you're still here. That tells me you've got something real in you. Something unshaken. Something worth building on. You might not have all the answers, but you have strength. You have the ability to take one more step and then another and then another. That's where belief grows from doing, not waiting. People spend so much time trying to be more, do more, have more, all because they don't feel like they're enough right now. But that chase never ends. The finish line keeps moving. It's a trap. The only way out is to stop running from yourself and start standing with yourself. Stand tall. Choose to be on your own side. Speak to yourself with the same respect you would give someone you love. Because that's where power starts, with a decision to honor who you are. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you choose to be each day. When challenges come today, and they will, remind yourself you don't have to be perfect to face them. You just have to be grounded. Grounded in the belief that you are worthy of growth, worthy of effort, worthy of second chances. You are allowed to show up fully. You are allowed to be proud of how far you've come. You are allowed to feel strong even while you're still becoming stronger. There is someone inside you who's waiting for you to stop doubting. Someone who's ready to build, ready to rise, ready to take action from a place of confidence, not fear. That part of you needs to hear this today. You are enough, and you've been enough. Even on your worst days, you've carried yourself through. Even when no one saw it, you kept going. And that matters more than you know. Belief is not something you borrow. It's something you build every morning. One thought at a time, one choice at a time, one honest moment at a time. And when you make those choices consistently, you stop relying on the world to validate you. You stop chasing affirmation and start generating it from the inside. This day is not about proving anything. It's about expressing what's already true. It's about showing up with the mindset that your voice belongs in the room. Your energy has purpose. Your time has value. You don't need to be louder. You just need to be clearer with yourself first. Be clear that you are enough. Not when things are easier. Not when things go right. Right now, no more shrinking. No more playing small to make others comfortable. No more waiting until you feel worthy. Start walking like you believe it. Start speaking like you mean it. Start leading like you're ready. Because if you don't claim your place in this world, who will? Every step forward is a statement. Every action you take says, I believe I matter. You don't need everything to be perfect to begin. Begin from where you are. Begin with belief. Begin with your head held high. Begin with the reminder that today is not about fixing yourself. It's about using what's already strong in you to build something better. Keep standing tall even when your legs are tired. Keep choosing belief, even when doubt lingers. Keep honoring your journey, even when it's quiet. That's where the real power lives, in the decision to keep standing.
Number 5. Push limits and become stronger through every challenge. Every morning is a new invitation to rise above where you were yesterday. It is a fresh opportunity to push past what you believed was your edge and discover there's more strength in you than you gave yourself credit for. You grow by leaning into the challenge, not by avoiding it. The discomfort you feel when you stretch yourself is the beginning of personal transformation. Most people want growth without pressure, results without risk, and strength without struggle. But that's not how life builds champions. You get better by doing what's hard when it's hard, not later. Not when you feel like it, but right now. When life throws resistance your way, it's testing your capacity. That resistance is a sign that you're in motion. If everything feels easy, it means you're not moving forward. You're staying in what's safe.
But the moment you begin to challenge your limits, you start shaping a new version of yourself. And that version isn't born from comfort. It's born when you refuse to back down just because something is hard. There's something powerful about a person who wakes up and says, "I will not let this day control me. I will push harder than I did yesterday. I will not wait for the challenge to go away. I will meet it head on." That mindset, when practiced daily, changes your chemistry. You stop reacting, and you begin responding with intent. You stop avoiding difficulty, and you begin seeking out the next level of your own growth. It starts in small moments. When you're tired but still show up. When you feel like quitting but choose to go one more round. When fear shows up and you don't run. You face it and move through it. That's when strength is built. Not when it's easy. Not when it's fun, but when it's necessary. Challenge doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're getting stronger. Think about the last time you overcame something that scared you. You didn't just walk away with the result. You walked away with a new level of belief. You realized you had more in you than you imagined. That belief didn't come from theory. It came from action. It came from the moment you could have backed off, but you pushed forward instead. You earned it through experience. Every time you push a little further, you increase your threshold. What used to feel overwhelming becomes manageable. What once seemed impossible becomes your new baseline. But none of that happens if you avoid pressure. You have to lean in. You have to stop playing life on defense and start driving towards something that matters. The only way to find your real limits is to test them. If you stay in your comfort zone, you will never know how far you could go. Growth doesn't happen by waiting. It happens by choosing to act even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. There's no path where you get stronger by doing nothing. You have to challenge yourself to become more. You have to put yourself in situations where your current skill set isn't enough, where your habits have to evolve, where your thinking has to stretch, and you have to do it on purpose. There's a lesson in every hard thing, but only if you choose to learn from it. When something breaks you down, you can either stay there or rise with a better understanding of who you are. You are not here to stay stuck. You are not here to settle. You are here to build strength through every difficulty. You're here to push through the wall, not to wait for it to disappear. Strength comes when you put yourself in motion before the motivation hits. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. Most people miss their window because they were hoping they'd wake up one day with enough confidence to act. But confidence doesn't come first. It follows the decision to keep showing up and doing hard things. When you choose discipline over excuses, growth follows. When you choose to face what scares you, courage builds. When you choose effort over avoidance, you become someone you can respect. If you want to grow, stop running from challenge. Start seeking it. Choose to do what others won't. Stay consistent when most would quit. Push your energy just a little further when your body says stop. Test your mind by doing something that scares you, something you're not sure you can do. And when you finish, not only will you have achieved something, you'll have proven to yourself that you are stronger than you were yesterday. You are never too weak to begin. You only stay weak when you avoid the work. No one builds muscle without resistance. The same is true in life. If you run from every problem, you miss the power of becoming someone who can handle more. You don't rise by being protected. You rise by being tested. You rise by being challenged, corrected, and forced to evolve. Every challenge is shaping you. The way you speak to yourself when things get tough, that matters. Tell yourself you can adapt. Remind yourself you are not the kind of person who gives up. You are the kind of person who gets up, who figures it out, who pushes through and learns along the way. Your strength isn't found in pretending everything's fine. It's found in showing up even when it's not. There's a version of you on the other side of pressure that's more focused, more disciplined, more determined. You won't meet that version by coasting. You meet that version by choosing to face today's challenges directly, not with fear but with intention. You push through not because it's easy, but because the outcome matters to you. You want to grow. You want to improve. You want to walk into tomorrow knowing you earned your progress, and you will. If you show up every day with the mindset to push your boundaries, if you wake up and say, "Today I will not waste this chance to become better," then that's exactly what you'll do. Even when it's slow, even when it's messy, even when no one's watching. You're not doing this for applause.
You're doing it to become someone you can be proud of. And that matters more than approval from anyone else. Push your limits, not just physically but mentally. Push your willingness to stay focused. Push your patience when things take longer than you hoped. Push your ability to hold your standards high when it would be easier to lower them. This is how you grow strong, not just in muscle but in mind. Not just in routine, but in identity. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. What you practice every day becomes who you are. If you avoid difficulty, you become soft. If you embrace the grind, you become tough. If you expect ease, you stay fragile. But if you keep facing challenge, you become resilient. That resilience will outlast anything temporary. That's the kind of strength no one can take from you. Push your limits today, because this is where the next level lives. In the extra rep, in the uncomfortable choice, in the unfamiliar path, in the thing that makes you nervous but also excited. That's the edge where growth begins. You either walk toward it or you stay the same. You decide. You always decide.
Number 6. Forgive fast and let peace lead your mind. When you hold on to anger, it controls you. It doesn't solve anything. It doesn't fix the past. It only steals your focus from the present. If you want to lead a clear life, a strong life, a meaningful life, you must learn to forgive quickly. Not for them, but for you. You deserve to have peace in your heart. You deserve to have clarity in your thoughts. Carrying old hurt weighs down your progress. It keeps you from being fully present in your work, in your relationships, in your mission. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's strength. It's choosing to take back control from the emotions that try to dominate you. It's refusing to let someone else's mistake live rent-free in your head. Some people will wrong you. That's a fact. People will disappoint you, betray you, let you down. But you don't have to carry the bitterness. You don't have to carry the bitterness. You don't have to replay the moment again and again. You can decide to end the cycle. You can say, this ends with me. I choose peace. You don't need an apology to move forward. Waiting for someone else to acknowledge their mistake only delays your own healing. Some people won't say sorry. Some won't see what they did wrong. But if you wait on them, you give them the power. Forgiveness means you reclaim it. You decide your freedom isn't tied to someone else's behavior. Your peace is yours, and you get to protect it at all costs. The longer you hold on to a grudge, the more it changes how you see the world. It makes you hard. It makes you cold. It narrows your heart. And the tragedy is, the pain that was done to you once ends up hurting you every single day you hold it in. Forgiveness isn't letting them off the hook. It's letting yourself move forward. It means you no longer need revenge, no longer need to carry that tension inside your body, no longer need to bring old pain into new moments. And when peace leads your mind, everything shifts. You think clearer. You listen better. You respond instead of react. You don't waste time fighting battles that aren't worth it. You don't spend hours mentally arguing with people who aren't even there. You step into your day with lightness. You speak to others with calm. You focus on the task in front of you instead of being weighed down by resentment behind you. I'm telling you, there's nothing more powerful than a person who has made peace with their past. You can see it in their eyes. They're not walking around bitter. They're not trying to prove anything. They're not defensive. They're free. And that freedom doesn't come from ignoring what happened. It comes from processing it, learning from it, and letting it go. It comes from choosing not to let one moment define your entire outlook on life. You forgive fast not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Life moves quickly. Opportunities come and go. And the last thing you need is old wounds draining your energy. You don't want to be so stuck in yesterday's anger that you miss today's opportunity. Every morning you have a choice, to carry the weight or to drop it and walk freely. Choose the lighter path. Choose the one that clears your heart and sharpens your focus. Forgiveness is a daily decision. Sometimes it's not a one-time act. Sometimes the hurt is deep and it resurfaces. But every time it does, you remind yourself that peace is the goal, not revenge, not proving a point. Peace. You remind yourself that your energy is too valuable to waste on old battles. You remind yourself that what happened doesn't define you. Your response does. Don't wait for time to heal wounds. Time doesn't heal. Your choices do. Forgiveness is an active process. It's a commitment to mental clarity. It's saying, I won't spend another day angry over something I can't change. It's looking at your future and realizing that it deserves more from you. It deserves your full attention, not a distracted, wounded version of you stuck in the past. And I know, some hurts cut deep. Some betrayals feel unforgivable. But you must ask yourself, what is the cost of carrying this any longer? What is it costing your peace? Your sleep? Your focus? Your joy? Is it worth it? Most often, the answer is no. You are not meant to live with that kind of burden. You are meant to walk with strength, with clarity, with freedom, and that begins with forgiveness. Even when you don't feel like it, you forgive. Because feelings change, but actions shape character. The person who forgives first is the person who grows fastest. They don't get stuck. They move forward. And with every step, they become more emotionally strong. It's easy to stay angry. It takes strength to release. And that kind of strength builds you into someone who can lead, someone who can uplift, someone who can change lives. Lead with peace in your conversations. Speak to others with a calm tone. Choose your words with thought. Respond to tension with clarity. This doesn't mean you let people walk over you. It means you know how to stand strong without losing your center. It means you can be assertive without being reactive. It means you can speak the truth without raising your voice. That's leadership. That's maturity. That's real power. Your mind is your most valuable space. You decide what stays there. Don't fill it with anger. Fill it with focus, with ideas, with love, with solutions. There's no space in your future for grudges. You can't build a great life on bitterness. You build it on strength, on wisdom, on self-control. And forgiveness is a sign of all three. Every morning, remind yourself, peace is a choice. It's not the absence of conflict. It's the presence of inner clarity. It means you can go into the world without dragging old pain behind you. It means you can connect with others without suspicion. It means you can focus fully, without the past clouding your vision. And that clarity, that is priceless. Start your day with this decision. Today I will not carry old hurt. Today I choose to forgive quickly. Today I let peace guide my mind, my words, my actions. Today I choose emotional strength over emotional reaction. Today I reclaim my focus, my energy, and my direction. You say that every morning, and you mean it, and you practice it, and you will walk lighter, speak clearer, and lead stronger. That is how you rise above. That is how you grow. That is how you take back your life.
Number 7. Take action and refuse to waste your time. Every day you wake up, the clock is running. Whether you act or delay, the hours pass. Whether you commit or hesitate, time moves. There is no pause button. You either use the hours well or you lose them. The difference between a fulfilled life and a frustrated one often comes down to how you treat time. You must understand how valuable it is. Every second matters. You can't save time. You can only spend it wisely or waste it carelessly. There's no refund, no replacement. And once it's gone forever. You need to train yourself to act without waiting for the perfect moment. Action creates momentum. You don't need everything to be figured out before you start. You don't need to feel ready before you move. You don't need permission to go after what matters. What you need is to begin. Start now. Start with what you have. Start, even if it's messy. Most people lose time by overthinking. They wait, they analyze, they hesitate. And in that hesitation, opportunity slips through their fingers. The ones who win are not always the smartest. They're the ones who move. If you have something to do it now. Don't push it to later. Later is not a strategy. Later becomes never. That conversation you keep avoiding. That project you haven't started. That skill you keep talking about learning. Every delay adds to your regret. Action is not always convenient, but it's always necessary.
Growth doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who show up. You must take responsibility for your minutes and protect them with discipline. That's how you move forward. That's how you stop wasting your life. You must look at your time like it's your most prized possession. You wouldn't throw your money in the trash, so why throw away your hours? Every distraction has a cost. Every excuse drains energy. If you want to be successful, you have to respect your schedule. That means cutting out the things that steal your focus. That means saying no more often. That means building days that align with your goals. If your time is scattered, your life will be scattered. Focus is the key to progress, and action is how you apply it. There are people out there doing less talking and more doing. They're not perfect. They make mistakes, but they show up. They don't sit around waiting for motivation. They act. You must do the same. Don't let another sunrise pass without making real moves. Every morning should begin with purpose. Ask yourself, what can I do today that pushes me forward? Then do it. Even if it's small, even if it's uncomfortable. Action is what builds your life. Dreams without action are nothing but wishes. And wishes don't change your world. Get serious about your time. Don't waste hours on things that don't grow you. Scrolling endlessly, talking about others, waiting for the weekend, none of that creates meaning. You weren't given life to waste it in distraction. You were given life to build something. Build yourself. Build your discipline. Build your future. But you can't build anything while standing still. You have to move. You have to apply. You have to do. When you take action, you gain confidence. When you take action, you create results. When you take action, you grow into the kind of person who gets things done. And the more you practice doing, the less time you waste. Discipline doesn't happen by accident. It happens by training. Each decision matters. Every morning you have a window. Use it. Don't wait until the afternoon. Don't say maybe tomorrow. You wake up and you work. You don't need a mood. You need a mission. Some people wake up and drift. They don't plan. They don't commit. They wander from one thing to the next, reacting to life instead of directing it. That is not how you take control. That's how you stay stuck. You must decide every morning that this day matters. This time matters. You only get so many days. Don't let them slip away while you think about acting. Act, push, focus, take that step, send that message, finish that task, read that book, build something today. Procrastination is the enemy of success. You kill it by moving. Action teaches more than theory ever will. You can read 1,000 books, but if you don't apply, you don't grow. You can listen to all the advice in the world, but if you don't act, nothing changes. You need to become a person of execution. Say less. Do more. Think clearly. Move quickly. Show the world you mean business, not by your words, but by your habits. You won't be known for what you intended to do. You'll be known for what you actually did. You don't need to take giant steps. You just need to be consistent. It's not about speed. It's about direction. Are you moving closer to your goal or further away? Every action is a vote for the kind of life you want. Make those votes count. Even if nobody is watching. Even if you're tired. Even if it's not easy. Great lives are built in quiet moments of discipline. The people who win are the ones who outlast distractions. If you want change, you must act before you feel like it. Action creates the emotion you're waiting on. Don't wait to feel motivated. Motivation is fleeting. Structure your day. Know what needs to be done and get to it. The more you practice action, the more it becomes natural. The more you resist delay, the more you build internal strength. Time rewards the committed. It gives back to those who invest wisely. Imagine your future self watching you right now. Would they be proud of what you're doing with your time? Would they thank you for today's effort? Or would they wish you had started sooner? Think about the life you want. It's not going to build itself. You must take responsibility for every hour you're given. Your time is the one resource you can't get more of. Treat it with the seriousness it deserves. There's no secret formula to success. The secret is getting to work. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now use the hours you have. Respect your future enough to act. Respect your dreams enough to fight for them. Refuse to drift. Refuse to settle. refuse to waste another day. When you take action, you gain power. And when you refuse to waste time, you build a life that matters. Number 8. Stay focused and protect your mental energy fiercely. Your mind is your greatest asset. It's the control center for every choice you make, every direction you take, and every habit you repeat. The clarity of your thoughts shapes the quality of your actions. If you don't protect your mental energy, everything in your life becomes harder. Every distraction, every unnecessary argument, every toxic conversation, every piece of negative content you consume, it all drains your energy bit by bit until you're running on empty and don't even realize why. If your mind is cluttered, your focus suffers. If your focus suffers, progress stalls. That's why you have to stay intentional about where your thoughts go and what you allow into your space. You can't allow just anything or anyone to enter your mental world. Your mental energy is not a public space. It's a sacred place. You have to guard it with commitment. The moment you let in chaos, everything becomes scattered. The moment you let in negativity, everything becomes heavy. That's why staying focused isn't just about working hard. It's about removing what doesn't belong. It's about clearing the mental noise and choosing where your attention goes. Day after day, attention is a resource. If you spend it on things that don't serve your purpose, you pay the price later. You must learn to say no without guilt. No to gossip. No to pointless scrolling. No to the opinions that don't align with your direction. Not every voice deserves your ear. Not every notification deserves your response. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You need to be clear about what matters, and then shut the door on everything that pulls you off that path. Focus means choosing one thing and giving it everything. Focus means staying aligned with your priorities and filtering out the noise. Mental strength comes from discipline. The discipline to get up and move even when you feel tired. The discipline to stay committed even when you feel distracted. The discipline to refocus when life tries to pull you away from your mission. Distractions are not always loud. Sometimes they are subtle. Sometimes they come dressed as entertainment, as comfort, as casual conversations that seem harmless, but every little piece you give away adds up. You have to be conscious of how your thoughts are being shaped. The content you watch, the words you speak, the people you interact with, these are all feeding your mind or draining it. You have to become the gatekeeper of your own peace. Every day you have to decide, will I feed my mind with strength, or will I let it be consumed by clutter? You can't focus on your goals if your attention is being pulled in 10 directions. You need boundaries. Boundaries with your time, your space, your conversations. You need routines that support your mental clarity. Morning routines that prepare you. Night routines that restore you. Breaks that renew you. Work that challenges you without overwhelming you. You are responsible for creating the environment that supports your mental energy. It's not just about avoiding the bad. It's about choosing the good. Choose books that sharpen your thinking. Choose people who respect your focus. Choose habits that keep your mind clean. You don't need more things in your day. You need fewer distractions and deeper concentration. You need to train your attention like a muscle. Because in today's world, focus is rare, and what's rare becomes powerful. Those who can focus, those who can protect their mental energy, they rise, they grow, they lead. You must learn to be alone with your thoughts without reaching for your phone. You must learn to sit in silence without looking for entertainment. You must learn to take breaks that actually recharge you, not breaks that distract you. Peace doesn't come from doing nothing. Peace comes from doing the right things with intention. When your mind is calm, you can think clearly. When you think clearly, you make better choices. And better choices build a better life. Every distraction has a cost. And the cost is not just your time, it's your presence. If your mind is constantly somewhere else, you miss the life that's happening right in front of you. Focus allows you to fully engage with the moment, to listen fully, to work deeply, to connect meaningfully, to live intentionally. Don't give that away for quick pleasure or shallow attention. Don't let your mind be a dumping ground for anything the world throws at you. Mental energy is not unlimited. You only get so much per day. Once it's drained, everything becomes harder. You become reactive. You lose patience. you start making decisions you regret. That's why you must guard it from the moment you wake up. Don't start your day by checking your phone. Don't flood your brain with noise before you've even had time to think. Start with clarity. Start with intention. Start with quiet. That sets the tone for everything else. There will always be demands on your attention, but you get to decide which ones deserve your energy. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to solve everyone's problems. Your mental space is not up for rent. It's your job to protect it, to refill it, to nourish it. When you do, you become more productive. You think faster, you feel lighter, and you stay in control, even when life throws challenges your way. Don't fall into the trap of glorifying busyness. Just because your schedule is full doesn't mean you're moving forward. Activity does not equal progress. Focused effort creates results. You can't do everything well, but you can do a few things with excellence. You just have to decide what those things are, and then commit, deeply, fiercely, without apology. That's how progress is made. One focused step at a time. If you want peace, protect your attention. If you want results, protect your focus. If you want strength, protect your thoughts. Because the way you manage your mental energy will determine the quality of your life. Every morning, remind yourself, you don't have to give your mind away. You don't have to absorb every opinion. You don't have to chase every distraction. You can choose what you feed your mind. You can train it, strengthen it, shape it. That's your power. Use it.
Number 9. Lead yourself and inspire others by your discipline. Discipline is the foundation upon which everything great is built. Without discipline, nothing meaningful lasts. It is the cornerstone of success. The trait that allows you to show up every day, even when motivation fades. Without it, your dreams remain just that. Dreams, the world is full of potential. But it's discipline that takes that potential and turns it into reality. Discipline is the ability to follow through, to push forward when the initial excitement has faded, to keep working even when things get tough. It is the difference between those who talk about what they want to do and those who actually do it. When you lead yourself with discipline, you become someone who follows through. People will notice, they'll see that you are reliable, consistent, and determined. And when people see that kind of commitment, they'll want to follow you. Not because you demand it, but because you set an example they admire. Your actions will speak louder than your words ever could. Discipline becomes a beacon of inspiration to others. When you lead yourself with focus, integrity, and persistence, you give others permission to do the same. Leadership starts with self-leadership. If you can't lead yourself, you cannot expect to lead others. How can you ask people to trust you to guide them if you can't even trust yourself to show up every day? Discipline in your own life is the starting point. It means taking ownership of your actions, your choices, your time. It means doing what you say you're going to do, even when it's inconvenient. It means making the tough decisions, the ones that align with your long-term goals, not just what's easy or fun in the moment. It's about sticking to your commitments, even when the enthusiasm wears off. People are always watching, whether you realize it or not. And if you can maintain your discipline, others will begin to admire and trust your ability to lead. When you lead yourself with discipline, you also learn to say no. No to distractions. No to temptations that don't align with your goals. No to things that take away from your focus. Discipline isn't just about doing the right thing. It's also about not doing the wrong thing. It's about having the strength to resist the urge to give in to short-term pleasures that derail your long-term vision. And that strength is magnetic. When you show up every day, putting in the work and staying true to your values, you inspire others to do the same. Being disciplined is also about setting boundaries. Boundaries with your time, your energy, and your emotions. You cannot lead effectively if you're always running on empty. You must protect your time and your mental space so that you can give the best of yourself to the tasks that matter most. It's about creating a structure in your life that allows you to stay on course and stay focused. A disciplined life is a life of organization, a life of purpose. You create systems that support your goals, and you stick to them, no matter what. As you lead yourself, remember that discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about getting up one more time than you fall down.
It's about taking consistent action even when you're not feeling your best. Discipline isn't about doing everything right all the time. It's about doing the right things most of the time. It's about making progress, not seeking perfection. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to keep moving forward, step by step. When others see you doing this, they will be inspired. They will realize that they don't need to be perfect either. They just need to keep moving. True discipline means knowing when to push yourself harder and when to give yourself grace. It's the balance of knowing when you need to go all in and when you need to take a step back to recharge. Discipline doesn't mean working yourself to the point of burnout. It means knowing how to pace yourself and take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being while still staying committed to your goals. When you lead with this kind of balanced discipline, you show others that it's possible to be successful without sacrificing your health, your relationships, or your happiness. Leadership by discipline is also about leading by example. It's about showing others how to handle adversity, how to stay calm under pressure, how to stay focused when the world around you is chaotic. People will watch how you handle the challenges in your life. They'll watch how you navigate the setbacks, the tough days, and the failures. And if you respond with discipline, staying true to your values, and staying committed to your purpose, others will see that they too can handle their challenges with strength and resilience. You become a role model simply by staying disciplined in the face of difficulty. Remember, your actions create ripples that impact others. The more disciplined you are in your own life, the more you set a standard for those around you. People will start to hold themselves to a higher standard because they see the results that discipline brings. They'll start to understand that success isn't about waiting for the right moment or the right feeling. It's about showing up day after day, regardless of circumstances. When you live with discipline, you teach others that consistency is the key to success, and you show them that anyone can achieve greatness if they're willing to put in the work. Discipline is not about rigidity, it's about freedom. When you're disciplined, you're free to do what you want, because you've earned it. You've put in the work, and now you get to enjoy the fruits of that labor. Discipline brings freedom from the chaos of procrastination, freedom from the guilt of wasted time, freedom from the constant cycle of starting and stopping. It's about creating the life you want by making the right choices consistently. And when you live with that level of discipline, you inspire others to do the same. When you lead yourself with discipline, you show others that greatness is within their reach too. You show them that they don't need to wait for the perfect circumstances or the perfect moment. They just need to start. And when they see your discipline, they'll understand that if you can do it, so can they. Your discipline becomes a light that helps guide others through the darkness of self-doubt, hesitation, and fear. It gives them the courage to take action and trust that their efforts will pay off. Leading yourself is not always easy. It takes work and it takes sacrifice. But it also takes a commitment to be the best version of yourself and to inspire others through your actions. Every time you show up with discipline, you not only move closer to your own goals, you light the way for others to follow. Number 10. Decide now to live with purpose and direction. Living with purpose means you wake up every morning knowing exactly why you are doing what you're doing. It means your actions align with your values and goals, and every step you take is a deliberate one. Purpose is the guiding force that keeps you grounded, keeps you moving forward, and gives your life meaning. Without purpose, you're simply going through the motions, reacting to life instead of actively shaping it. And that's no way to live. Choosing to live with purpose is a decision. And it's a decision that must be made every single day. It's a decision to wake up with intention, to make every moment count. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity or hoping that things will eventually work out. Living with purpose means deciding now that you will take control of your life, that you will be the one who sets the course, who defines what success looks like for you, and who moves relentlessly toward that vision. You decide now that your life will have direction, that you will not be swayed by distractions or the opinions of others. When you live with purpose, you don't waste time. Every action, every choice you make is purposeful. You start to focus on what truly matters to you, and you start eliminating the noise. You stop spending your time on things that don't serve you, that don't bring you closer to your goals. Time becomes precious. because you understand that it's finite, and so you use it wisely. You decide to make every second of your life count because you know that purpose fuels progress. Direction is equally as important as purpose. Purpose gives you a reason to move forward, but direction tells you where to go. You need both. When you have direction, you know where to focus your energy. You don't waste time figuring out what your next move should be. You've already decided that. You're not lost in the sea of possibilities. You've chosen your path, and now you walk it with clarity and conviction. Your purpose and direction align, and that creates momentum. Each step is a step toward your destination. Living with purpose and direction doesn't mean there won't be challenges along the way. Life will always throw obstacles at you. But when you have purpose, those obstacles become opportunities. They become the stepping stones that help you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Purpose gives you the strength to keep going when things get tough. It's the reminder that the struggle is worth it. It's the belief that your hard work will pay off in the end. Purpose also keeps you focused. It gives you the discipline to stick with it, even when the journey is long. It's easy to start something new, but it's the people who stay committed that make a lasting impact. When you live with purpose, you know that success is not an overnight event. It's the result of consistent effort over time. The key is to stay on course, no matter what distractions or setbacks come your way. Purpose keeps you anchored to your goals, reminding you of why you started in the first place. Living with direction means making decisions with confidence. Every time you face a choice, you ask yourself, does this align with my purpose? And if it does, you move forward without hesitation. If it doesn't, you make the tough decision to let it go. That's the power of direction. It allows you to filter out the things that don't matter, the things that won't move you closer to your goals. And by doing that, you free up your energy and time to focus on what does matter. Purpose and direction go hand in hand. Without one, the other is meaningless. Purpose gives you the drive, the why behind everything you do. Direction gives you the how and the where, but together they create a powerful force that propels you toward your dreams. When you live with both purpose and direction, you become unstoppable. Your vision becomes clear, your decisions become easier, and your path becomes more certain. There will be times when doubt creeps in, times when you question whether you're on the right path, or if your efforts will ever pay off. But when you live with purpose and direction, those moments of doubt become easier to navigate. You know why you're doing what you're doing. You know where you're headed, and that knowledge gives you the strength to keep going, even when the road gets tough. You've made the decision to live with purpose, and that decision will carry you through the hardest of times. Living with purpose and direction is not something you can put off. It's not something you can wait for. It's a decision you make now. You decide right now that you will live intentionally, that you will pursue your goals with clarity, focus, and determination. You choose to stop drifting through life, to stop being reactive, and to start being proactive. You take control of your destiny, and you chart your course. When you make that decision, everything changes. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop making excuses. You stop letting fear or uncertainty hold you back. You start moving forward one step at a time, with purpose and direction guiding you. And as you continue to move forward, you'll find that the world around you starts to respond. Opportunities start to appear. Your confidence grows. Your energy increases. And the people around you begin to take notice. They'll see the clarity and determination in your eyes, and they'll be inspired by your commitment to living with purpose. Choosing to live with purpose and direction is the most powerful decision you can make. It is the decision to take charge of your life, to stop waiting for things to happen and start making things happen. It is the decision to live with intention, to make every moment count, and to relentlessly pursue your dreams. This decision will transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. But it all starts with you. You decide now to live with purpose and direction, and the rest of your life will follow.